What's up, everybody? Thanks for checking out this segment of the main show. Be sure to check out the full EXFIL podcast at youtube.com/XPMediaNow.
As players, we want more content. And that's not just new maps, it's new guns and all of these things. Do you think the game is at a critical point right now with so many people playing it, so many new people playing it? There's new maps on the horizon, new guns. I mean, there's 45 ACP coming in with the 1911. Like, is it approaching too complex? And I know you just sort of answered it, but like, how much more can be put in from a ballistic standpoint?
I mean, the sky's the limit, of course. They could make it as complicated as they want. I mean, there are lots of things that are implemented that are largely inconsequential, like the velocity of bullets. There's going to be drop-off, but you're talking about single-digit points over the course of hundreds of meters, where the vast majority of firefights I get into are like within 100 meters. So, but the fact that those parts of the formulas are in there and that those variables are in there, I'm seeing it from a software perspective, probably a little bit too much, I guess. But it's just, you have to do so much more work to achieve what effectively is an indistinguishable to the end user result. You could have a system that had 8,000 variables, but at the end of the day, when you only have 435 health, you're going to see your health go down from one point to another point. Does it really matter that there's 900 variables under the covers? I tend to err on the side of no, because again, I feel like if you want to design a game and you want to grow it and you want to balance it and you want to be able to have players understand how the systems work, and you want to be able to have the developers understand how they work so that they can, like the product owners, so that they can understand what the end goal is and make changes to achieve that end goal. Unfortunately, they can have the vision about what the end goal is, but I think it's sufficiently complex enough that I don't know that they can achieve the goals that they want. They basically would turn the knobs and say, "How's it look over there, guys? Too hot? Okay, turn a bunch of knobs. How's it look over there, guys?" Because there's just a bunch of variables that they don't know what they're changing, which is why so many things go back and forth between being overpowered, underpowered, overpriced, underpriced. Whereas you look like a game like Valorant, much more simple system. I get it's not for everybody, but I mean, it's in beta, and to me, it's almost perfectly balanced out of the gate, and it's been out for weeks, So
I wonder if Battlestate's like explosive growth has been a challenge for them to keep the game consistent. Because I think I read, and maybe you can confirm or maybe deny this, but I read that they had a team of maybe like even a year ago, it wasn't very many people. Or a year and a half ago, it was like maybe less than 20. And now
it's still that small.
Okay, the thing that I was reading said that around January, they were up to maybe around 100 employees or something like that.
Yep. I don't know about engineers.
Yeah.
I know they have like community folks and stuff like that, but they're still pretty small and unfortunately understaffed developer-wise.
Because if you think about that, we talked about kind of the original dream for the game, where you talk about like, hey, we've got this idea, the dream, right? How do you translate that from the 2 or 3 guys that had the dream, right, that started writing it in the beginning, to a whole team of developers? A lot of game studios end up having this problem where they grow, and then it's because passion's not enough. You have to have shared vision and shared goals for your end product. And to me, it feels like from a business perspective, Tarkov is kind of going through this transition of trying to figure out how they're going to keep the game growing with the original vision. And it's almost like Nikita said just recently something along the lines of where he I don't remember the exact quote, but it was something like he wasn't exactly sure the amount of features that were going to go into each iteration that they do or something. He's like, I'm not really sure where we're going to stop with that. And it was a comment related to what was going to get put in before the next wipe. And I think they're kind of suffering from this, going from a small team of developers with a really cool idea that got popular and probably way more popular and more widespread play than they were expecting, and it happened pretty quick. And now the question is, okay, what do we do with this and still keep it seeming like the game is changing enough, you know?
Yeah, I mean, I feel like the way that this whole thing happened is sort of the way that I approach like writing a song. When people hear a song that I finished, I imagine that they experience it in the way that I experience every other song that I've listened to, which is, this is a fully formed idea that someone must have just envisioned completely and then made from all these pieces. Whereas for me, it's more of I have a piece of construction paper and a bunch of junk and some Elmer's glue, and it's like I put a couple of pieces down and I say, okay, now what? And then I put another couple of pieces down, and it just ends up kind of becoming its own thing. That it's the reason why I can listen to my own music so much, because I create music and put it out so quickly that like it's almost like it was an accident. It just falls together, and all of these things just kind of like work. And then, but I never planned any of it. But the thing about music is that it doesn't have to be like usable or fun or enjoyable or balanced or unbuggy or whatever in the same way that software does. And I feel like Nikita had this nebulous vision for a survival game with a lot of the qualities that we all like know and love about Tarkov. And they just started building and building and building, and then things started to change where then there were content creators making videos, and there's all sorts of ideas around design and all these other things, and then they have to pivot. And then I just feel like nobody really, except for Nikita, has like a real vision for what the game is going to be. And I'm worried that maybe it's kind of gotten to the point where it's not really ever going to be the thing that he wanted. Now at this point, it's Escape from Tarkov has become it's like my songs. They've just become what they are, and that's what they are now. And you can do a little bit of mixing and mastering on top of it, but this is what it is. It might not have been what I set out to do, but I have a feeling that that really Escape from Tarkov as it is today, there's going to be a couple more systems added to the game, you know, just like when they came out with meta animations and like stims. There's going to be a few more systems and a bunch of new content. And then I feel like that's the game. I really don't think it's going to be what a lot of us felt, which was what we're experiencing now with Tarkov is just a glimpse, a flavor of what it's going to be eventually. Now I feel like it's not 30% of the way there, it's 93% of the way there.